we're going to do this, but we're going to do it our way.
You bought a robot, baby?
Wow, that was a joke grenade. That took me a second. Imagine the poop emoji as furniture.
It's weird that we didn't do that 10 minutes ago.
We should have started that before, you know. That makes a lot of sense. Why wouldn't we do that?
Too late now.
Matt, you forgot to disclaimer this part. We're old, and we remember how it used to be. There, go. And it was better then, too. You got to put that in there. Ice is back with my brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly.
While you guys are weaving belts, I'm going to sing this little tune that I wrote.
We think we're funny. On with the show.
This is XRadioX.
All right. Hey, before we get started, what episode is this, anyways?
Damn it.
I have no idea.
I can tell you. It's 40. It would be technically 41.
Technically 41. Technically 41. All right. Well, hello, folks. It's technically episode 41 of XRadioX. I'm Jace, and with me is...
Hello. It's Matt.
I was like, that's your cue to come on.
I jumped the gun. I was excited. I can't help it.
So 41 episodes in. Our last episode, we did it was a two-parter. We did March Madness that we did in April because we're very timely about Grammy songs from the 80s versus 90s. And did Sean Colvin win? Didn't that happen? Once again, the police ruin a party for Sean Colvin. Anyways.
Thank goodness.
Episode 41, XRadioX. So, you know, when you're 41, actually what we're going to talk about falls right into the wheelhouse.
That's a good point.
Didn't even see that coming. So, since we don't really have disclaimers anymore, just, you know, I guess you should know. If you've listened to us before, we'll probably swear.
Earmuffs, kids. Earmuffs.
Yeah. And if you're listening as kids, congratulations for listening to something so mature and that will give you such knowledge to work on, and it'll make you realize what that box in the middle of the console on the car actually is. It's not just for playing your iPod or your Zune or whatever it is you kids have these days. It's a radio, folks. And you can turn the radio on and you can listen to music that is programmed by people. And one of those people is who we're going to talk about. So, Matt, I'm going to get started, and then you just jump right in if you want to. And,
all right.
So here we go. So in post, you might want to give us a little bit of some building music for what I'm going to do here. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. It's 7 p.m. in a suburb somewhere. A middle-aged lady is in emotional distress. A man has been wronging this lady. A mistress is pining for an out-of-reach husband. A husband wants the perfect anniversary song for his mistress. It's Delilah. How did you like that for an intro? We're going to talk about Delilah.
It's beautiful. I just really like any opportunity to use the word wronging.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Delilah. She's the queen of 7 p.m. past weeknights, weekends. She's got all kinds of shows out there. She's got a bajillion listeners. I read online she's got more listeners than Ryan Seacrest, which
is that true?
It's on the internet, Matt, so it's got to be true.
Well, then it must be true. Yeah. Holy moly.
Yeah. More listeners than Ryan Seacrest. So take that, folks. She's Delilah. Her government name is Delilah Renee, born in the month of February 15th, 1960 in North Bend, Oregon. Do you want to know how she got her start? I'll let you talk about her show here in just a minute, but I just wanted to get this other. Do you know how she got her start?
I'm going to guess she was an intern at a radio station, and the DJ got a call from someone who needed help, and the DJ was like, man, F you. And she was like, wait, I can help this person. And then the rest is history.
That would be a much better story, actually. Well, no, in 1969, Delilah's family moved from Coos Bay, that's right, Coos Bay, Coos Bay, Oregon, to neighboring Reedsport. So all you Reedsport folks out there, hello. Where she attended school at age 13. She secured her first radio job after winning a school speech contest judged by the owners of KDUN, which is a local radio station there.
That's how she did it?
Yeah. And a fun fact about that, because I wanted to make sure that people knew this, because this is why I actually have a lot of respect for Delilah, what I'm going to tell you right here. Okay. I believe it was in 2021 or 2022. she went back and bought KDUN to keep it a local radio station.
Wow. All right, Delilah. Now I suddenly have different feelings for you, special feelings that I didn't have before.
Yeah, she's still the queen of evening schlock, but still, that is a super cool thing to do. Now, of course, her show is syndicated on that radio station because why wouldn't it be? But it's pretty cool that she went back and bought the station that she started out in.
That's amazing.
So now that I said nice things about her, what were you going to say about Delilah, Matt?
Yeah. So, okay, here's the thing. So if you're not familiar with the program, I'm not going to talk smack about her, but if you're not familiar with the program, Delilah, basically the concept is she plays what would be considered maybe adult contemporary, maybe not really too much pop. She plays like standards. She plays mellow love music and friendship music. She takes calls and has people and people write letters to her about their problems and their issues, and she finds a way to connect the world through song, basically.
She certainly does. To back up what you said, she does mostly. She actually has 4 versions of her show. Did you know that, Matt?
No, I didn't.
She has the adult contemporary version. This is the most widely distributed version of the show, which plays, AC stuff, adult contemporary.
Yep.
She also has a gold-based AC version of the show that plays older adult contemporary hits.
Sure, I would probably hate that more. Okay.
I think we'd be surprised at how many of the songs on her radio show we actually like.
That's fair.
But she also has a Christmas music version. It's
of course.
The only version that is produced between mid-November and Christmas.
That makes sense.
And then she has a Christian music version.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a version of the show featuring contemporary Christian music, specially produced for stations and audiences of that genre.
Now that makes sense. And I could see, okay, but here's a question.
That's true syndication right there. She's playing to her different audiences and maximizing what she does.
So what I'm wondering, and that kind of builds off of what I was thinking, do you think that because we all know that there's some smoke and mirrors that goes into radio, do you think that she records her segments for the same things and then they plug the music in afterwards?
Yes, I totally think that's how it works.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think
saves her some time.
And I have no idea, so I'm just talking out of the proverbial ass here, is I think she has her flagship station where she does a program, and she'll do a program and people know she's live from X to X, and they'll call in and she fields, I want to say I read somewhere online, she fields, north of 70 calls a night. And so they're
good.
just recording these. Yeah, they're recording these calls, and then they probably stitch it all together to create a quote unquote live program. Now I'm going to bet she does live drops and things like that, but the calls are all pre-done. They're not live on the air. I'm venturing that guess there, but I've produced a little bit of radio in the past, and they don't like you doing live stuff like that. There's too many wild cards there.
No, but the nice thing about Delilah is
stupid,
it's sort of,
because I think you should have the live stuff.
I agree. But the thing that appeals, I think, to Delilah, and the thing that people love about listening to it is it's very safe and it's very warm and loving. It's like a bowl of soup for your ears. And so if your
spicy,
ears
though.
are cold,
it's not like
and
chicken tortilla
hungry. No. It's not like a gazpacho or anything. It's like a nice, warm, steaming bowl of like a chicken bouillon based soup with maybe a noodle, but not a heavy noodle. It's just a nice, delicious, warm soup for your ears.
It's the Mrs. Grass soup of radio. You can buy it in a box at the supermarket. You can make it up whenever you want. It's the same every time, and you're going to like it.
So I think that tonight what we're going to do is we're going to do similar to what we have done before for other formats. We're going to talk about what we would do to maybe oomph up that soup a little bit. It's still going to be warm. It's still going to make your ears feel nice and cozy. But we're going to, kind of zhuzh it up a little. Maybe we'll add some paprika. Maybe we'll put an onion in there or something. But we'll also just talk about, I don't know.
Didn't you hear me start this with, hold on, let me go back. Didn't you hear? It's 7 p.m. in a suburb somewhere. Do you think paprika is good for 7 p.m. in a suburb somewhere? Isn't that a little spicy for your upper GI? Be some burps.
Perhaps
You're going to have to get your bed that
light,
raises up so you don't have little indigestion.
Maybe like a bay leaf.
A bay leaf.
Are we good with that?
Seriously. So I do a lot of cooking. What does a bay leaf actually do besides make you hunt for a leaf after you're done cooking with it? I don't know the flavor difference with or without the bay leaf. I think it's just somebody's like, hey, there was somebody a long time ago. They're like, we got all these stupid fucking leaves. What are we going to do with these things? I don't know. Let's call them bay leaf and we'll get, these chefs to put it in soups and people will buy it. Nice.
Big bay leaf was like, if we tell people it has to be in your soup, then they will put it in.
Whoa. You cannot make a soup without a bay leaf. But make sure not to eat it because it never gets softer and it's disgusting. And I don't actually know what the flavor is. But here you go. You got to put it in every soup. And that's Delilah.
So are there any songs off the top of your head from Delilah's programming that you love, that you look forward to, or that you are surprised to enjoy them? Because it's a mix for me. There are songs that I definitely, because I had to listen to it when I worked in radio, that would be the show that came after me every night. And so I regularly listened to it after I was finished. I would either go do some production, I'd hear it in the background, or as I'm, closing down the studio, I'd hear her talking and blah, blah, blah. And so I definitely heard a lot of the stuff. And then I also had to listen on my way home because I wanted to make sure I didn't crash the transmitter or turn something off if I forgot to turn the automation. There were a variety of reasons I ended up listening. So is there anything about Delilah's show when you would hear it that you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm sticking around for a little bit?
Yes, she has some songs I like. She plays some tunes on there that I like. I like some of that adult contemporary stuff. I mean, you got the. I know she likes REO Speedwagon.
She does.
Because she's been talking. Actually, if you look online, she's been pitching the REO Speedwagon /train summer tour. She's been pitching it on her show. Yeah. Because I believe the quote goes something like this: I remember playing REO Speedwagon when you actually put records on the turntable. Something along those lines.
When you actually had to hop in your Speedwagon and take it places. I do like that they're touring together because of the travel automobile theme. Speedwagon and train. I like that. That's nice.
That would be
Who else could be on that ticket?
The Cars.
The Cars. There you go.
That is a concert that I would stay for exactly half of it because I do not like Train.
No, me neither.
No. Mm-hmm. Did you hear recently that I think it was their bass player actually passed away? He slipped and fell in the shower.
Yes,
that's not a joke. It's a real thing.
Mm-hmm. I heard that. But I feel like maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like maybe he was a former bass player.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't read that deep. I was just like, oh, that sucks.
So one of the songs that I really enjoyed from Delilah that is not in my wheelhouse at all, and I might have mentioned this song on another podcast just because it's so outside of my scope. The song I Want to Love You Forever by Jessica Simpson?
Yes, I know that song.
It is such a good, epic. It is so good, Jace. Okay, now listen, this is not a video podcast, and if you saw Jace's face right now, it may be the face you're making as well, audience, but I'm telling you, if you listen to that song, and when she gets to some of the big moments of that song, it matches anything that Celine Dion did, anything that even I would say Christina Aguilera did, except for it didn't have a 45-second run. It was so good, and I don't think she ever matched that intensity, and that I don't think she wrote it, but that much of an epic song. It was from, I think, 1999.
I couldn't name one Jessica Simpson song if you put a gun to my head.
Oh, it was so good. So if I were to fix Delilah, I would still include that because I think it eases people into, this is what I'm used to. This is the Delilah I remember. Jessica Simpson, I Want to Love You Forever. I'm sure someone is calling Delilah right now as we speak and telling her a story about their person that they've been with for 86 years, and she's like, here's a song for you, and thanks for listening, and it's Jessica Simpson, I Will Love You Forever. So I think that would definitely stay, even though I don't like any of her other stuff. That song by Jessica Simpson needs to stay in Delilah.
Now, I don't know if this song is actually on Delilah, But if it was, I would say she had to keep this one. It's not exactly a great love song, but it's slow and it sounds like it would be a love song.
Okay.
Kind of is a love song. There's a lot of people out there that probably totally identify with this song, but it's My Favorite Mistake by Sheryl Crow. That is totally a song that Delilah would play if somebody called in and had like, I need a song about heartbreak. He broke she broke my heart. It could go either way.
Right.
And I believe My Favorite Mistake by Sheryl Crow would fit there. And I like that song a lot. And I'm sure it's been on Delilah before. Positive.
It definitely has. And I think that we could actually go into some of the other songs we've talked about on previous podcasts. Melissa Etheridge is on there. Come to My Window has got to be played on Delilah at least once a week.
I bet you I'm the only one has been played on Delilah.
Yeah.
Betcha.
For sure.
It's about probably as hard as she goes, though.
I think when you look at like bands that are a little more, I guess, traditionally rock bands, Journey fall into the Delilah category. Faithfully is an amazing song, and I know that's going to be sticking around.
Got an epic drum breakdown in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It really does. There are parts where what you expect the drum to do, he pauses and does a slightly offbeat, like it's just really cool. Anyway, Faithfully, that definitely would fit in a Delilah a show for sure. That's from 83.
Is that from when Randy Jackson played with him? When he had
I hope so.
When he had the little teeny bass on the big man.
I think Steve Perry singing anything should go on Delilah, in my opinion.
Like Oh Sherry.
Yeah.
That would fit on Delilah.
Cinnamon bun. Totally. I would hear that on
Knowing how I made you feel. Well, it's cinnamon buns. After all, love is real. Doom, doom, doom. Well, it must have been dreaming.
Oh, so you're familiar with the song. Okay, good.
I've heard it once or twice. Everybody loves that cinnamon bun song.
Oh, it's so good. He's amazing. All right, so
I'm impressed. I know that many lyrics from it off the top of my head, even.
So another one that's really good that I know she plays and I would definitely keep. And I'm not a fan. This guy was in another band, I think. I'm not sure what it was called, but when he went solo, he had a song from 1989. It was called Heart of the Matter. It's Don Henley. Are you familiar with him? He was in some
Don Henley. He was.
I don't know.
Is it something about birds?
Some country band, I think. But anyway. When he went solo, his music got much better. Heart of the Matter is a great, safe, but still meaningful song. If you listen to the lyrics, I'm sure there are people who can relate to what he's singing about. And Delilah would find a dozen stories from her listeners that she could play Heart of the Matter.
I know the song, but I can't think of the lyrics. Is there any chance you could sing a little of it for me? Remind me of what it sounded like, Matt.
Remember how he got a call today he didn't want to hear about how you found someone?
Oh, yeah. It's the conversation that got to the heart of the matter.
Yes,
I got it.
It got to the heart of the matter. So it's I'm not going to sing it, but it's really good. It's really good. And I recommend listening to the lyrics. This is the thing about getting old, Jason. Let me tell you, tell
me about getting old, Matt, since I'm older than you. Why don't you tell me about getting old, sir?
You might find as you have gotten older, and there are people who I'm going to be all over the board here, so forgive me. There are different kinds of music snobbery, and I know I fall into different categories from time to time. But one of the things I've found as I get older is that there is music for sure that if I listened to it when it came out, I was like, ugh, bleh. And now that I am old, I listen to it the way that it was intended and it hits. Like I feel bad for the young Matt who listened to it and was like, oh, these old people are idiots and they're talking about sappy nonsense. And then now I listen to it and I'm like, damn, that's good. That's got some depth to it. And I don't know that everyone, and the reason I'm talking about music snobbery is I'm sure there are people who will say, oh, I always like that. I always liked all music all the time. Every single music, I liked it when it first came out. And that's just not true. I think that there are things that hit you differently when you have experienced certain things, when you've lived a certain amount of life. And I think that the Don Henleys, even like the Phil Collinses to a certain degree,
Michael McDonald,
Michael McDonald, those are the things that when they came out to the people that they were meant for, it was awesome. And to the people, even people who love music, to the people that they weren't quite ready for what they were singing about, it didn't hit. And it was like, ugh, this is old people music. And then now when you come back to it, you're like, I am amazed that I missed this the first time. Do you agree? Like, do you find that that happens in life? Some songs you hear the second time around and you're like, whoa.
I have a perfect song for that. So
Yeah.
I notoriously hate country music, not a country music fan.
Yeah.
And when this song first came out, didn't care for it. Didn't care for anything on the album. Still don't care for a ton of stuff on the album, but the song Neon Moon by Brooks and Dunn.
Okay.
It just hits different, especially after you've gotten older and been divorced once.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. It like, oh yeah. Yep. You can understand the whole loss of it. Now, don't read anything into that. It is also my beer drinking song. Amy's always like, oh crap, I know Jason's drinking beer. I hear Neon Moon in the kitchen. Even my kids are like that. They're like, Dad's drinking Miller Lite. He's listening to Neon Moon. But the idea of it, like younger Jason wouldn't have even, I mean, I probably would have picked up on it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have picked up on it the same way, 40-year-old Jason does.
Yeah. I think that's interesting because I was talking to, actually, I think I might have been talking to our friend Sluice about what makes the music that you listen to, the music that you still listen to, like what happened in your life that certain music is what you still go to and you go back to. And like, he was making fun of the fact that I like Color Me Bad. Why do you like Color Me Bad? Why do you still like it?
It's funny. I have a Color Me Bad song on my list that should be on Delilah.
Yes. I can't wait to hear it. So, but that's like, it's partly life experience. It's partly where I was at when I started developing my taste in music. And my other friend, Kristen, she had an actual study that showed that when the music you listen to when you're like, I don't know, 13 to 15 or something is the music that sticks more than anything previous and anything after in your life. Like you can still like new stuff. It doesn't mean that you can't. It just means something about that time between like, I think it was like 12 to 16 or somewhere in that range. That's the stuff that you, for some reason, find yourself still sticking with. And when I look back at the music that was happening, that I was listening to back then, it's true to a certain degree.
I think that age range is for what I would call normies. Because for folks like you and me, and I would even say this is safe to say about people in my, well, I'll just use Amy, for example. My person of interest, as we like to say. Because we listen to so much music in our house. There's just music all the time.
Right.
It's not just like, yes, we still listen to a lot of the stuff that was from we're in our teens because we're like, oh, you remember that? And we, have a good time and dance around the kitchen, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But because we listen to so much music, we listen to so much newer music within the past 10 years like that. I could make the argument I know and remember more, like we'll just say lyrics from those than I do from the stuff from growing up. Maybe it's because it's closer to now than that was, but that stuff means just as much to me now as those songs as teenagers meant to me when I was a teenager.
It's interesting.
And it's probably because depending who you are and what your thing is, like music is very, very important in this household. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff within, I can say, the past 10 to 15 years that is played just as much and remembered just as, I don't know, we'll say fondly as anything from when we were growing up, because it's attached to a certain moment. It's attached to a time. It's attached to a thing, right? Just like those things. And I can see where that study would go, because your teenage years, even though they're so short, they're so fundamentally forming for you. It builds to, exactly the launching ramp to the next part of your life.
You're kind of deciding what you want to be and who you
whereas
want to be.
Adulthood is this thing that drags on technically from 18 to death.
It never stops. I mean, it's, it stops, but
yeah. So you have, arguably 7 to, you have 9 years of being a teenager.
yeah.
And in those 9 years, you cram all of these memories because you technically don't have any rules, I guess.
Mhm.
And then from 18 on, you're an adult. And, you're supposed to do adult things. And therefore, all of those things that happen in your teenage years are supposed to take a back seat. Well, some of us, I guess, never grew up and they never did. So, and then, you and I both worked in radio. So music means something completely different to us than it does
For sure.
to normies. So that study might not be as applicable to you and me, but I totally get what it means because there's a lot of stuff I listen to. And there's stuff on this list from that period of time.
Yeah.
That would fit into that. I'll give you a perfect example of one. I'll just go right to my Color Me Bad song that I was like, if Color Me Bad song was going to be on Delilah, I can't even believe I'm talking about Color Me Bad. Anyways,
I'm so glad.
It would be All for Love. That was the one.
It's a great one.
It's a little upbeat, but yet it's lovey. And I think it would be right there in the wheelhouse for Delilah listeners.
I agree. It's a little more peppy, but I think that I could talk for 15 minutes about some of their ballads that would be good for Delilah. I'm just not.
I am going to need to go get a glass of water, so I could just turn you loose on this, and I'll be right back. And
thank you for joining me at Color Me Bad Talk. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's a good one. I love that song. I love most Color Me Bad. I'm sad that they are touring at like half capacity because I would love to see them, and I would think I would just be disappointed.
Are they just me bad or color bad or color me? Like,
it's just bad with one D because Color and Me and the other D are not in the band anymore. So it's unfortunate.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So that's a good choice. I think my next song for the list to continue upgrading. I think that's a good way to say it. Upgrading Delilah. We're not fixing necessarily Delilah because she does what she does and people like what she does.
And she does it well.
But I would add, and hopefully she's already playing this, but Billy Joel's new one, Turn the Lights Back On. Oh, man. Have you heard it?
Nope.
Jason.
I know.
God.
You're expecting really to have an in-depth discussion about this, and I'm like, nope, just cut it off right there.
So listen, are you at all a fan of Billy Joel?
Yeah. I would say I'm a casual fan.
Casual fan. So the song comes out, and it's like it works on so many different levels. It's a song about, am I too late, to turn the lights back on? I waited too long. I was blind. I wasn't thinking. But is he singing about a lady? Like, is the relationship at its end and he wants to turn the lights back on? Or is he singing about his musical career? Because he hasn't put out an album in however many years. People are maybe
his last one.
It was like in the 90s, I think. It was a long time ago. He hasn't put like a full album out in a while. But anyway, it could work. As you're listening to the lyrics, you think it could apply to both things. Are people going to think I'm still relevant? If I put out an album now, will people still appreciate the type of music that I do? Because I have been out of this for a while. I've been, making classical music or just doing my own thing. And now I'm putting out, which is kind of like a pop song. What are people going to think? Did I wait too long to turn the lights back on? And so then the video comes out, and the video was made by AI, and it's him at a piano at all different stages of his career singing the song. So you see him in like Piano Man era and We Didn't Start the Fire era and like all these different, outfits, and he's young and then he gets older and then it becomes him as, current day. And it's just it's very moving. And it's, if you think about it from a love song perspective, it works. And if you think about it from a career, at the end of my career, I'm putting out another song. Hopefully you guys love it. Did I wait too long? And so that's a really, really good one. I haven't listened to a Delilah show in a little while, but I hope she's playing that song because it would fit perfectly.
So Billy Joel albums, his last release, and I'm not sure if this counts because
can't count greatest hits.
It's on Sony Classical. It's Fantasies and Delusions. I'm not sure if that is actually original.
I think that's classical music.
It's him playing classical music.
Yeah.
So I guess it counts as a release, but that was all the way in 2001. But if you want to go for what we would consider a studio album, it was River of Dreams in 93.
There you go. He hasn't done one since 93.
That's
So-
according to Wikipedia here. I just went to the
No,
quick
I think
Wikipedia
that's right.
look.
I knew that he was doing classical music since then, but so here's a guy who hasn't put on a pop record since 1993, and
That
he's
thing
saying
went
to his audience,
5
"Did
times
I wait too
platinum."
long?" And hopefully, I don't think he waited too long. I hope he makes a full album. If it's as good as that single, it's going to be amazing. So
Now,
that's a good one.
is it fair to say though that somebody like Billy Joel, because he's been touring a lot, even though his last studio album was in the 90s, he's toured a ton, and he's still relevant on the tour scene. He's still selling out, places. He was on a bunch of people in my family went and saw him. I think it was my sister, my mom, and my dad went and saw him and Elton John in Detroit years ago. And so that was still a thing.
Dramarama is still touring, Jason. They're singing anything.
Actually, when
and
I
Last Cigarette, and I'm loving it. I've seen them. But if they put out a new album now, would you be excited about it?
I would have not even known. Because it's funny that you bring up Dramarama, because I was looking at, all right, what are harder edged songs that, us Gen Xers might want to hear on Delilah if we're listening. And I was like, oh, that Dramarama song. And I listened, I was like, nah, this is a little too heavy for Delilah.
A little too heavy.
It's
so
funny that you bring
that
one up.
That.
I actually considered it.
So yeah, they still tour. That doesn't mean, and I don't mean this disrespectfully.
I think that we're not talking apples and apples here.
No, exactly. We're not. But the point is, you can still tour and not be in the public. You're not in the conversation anymore. And he hasn't been in the, all of his greatest hits still play on classic radio stations, but he hasn't had a song that played on current hit radio for at least 10 years, at least. That's assuming that his older music still leaked into the 2000s. So now he puts out what's going to be on the radio. That's risky. I mean, that's like, I would imagine, even though he's a multi-billion selling artist, that's got to be scary.
Yeah, I guess for your professional career. I mean, for your ego, especially.
You go out, you went out on a high note. Do you want to try again? Is it too late? Like, can you do it after all these years? And I say, Billy Joel effing can. Thank you.
Thank you for attending my Billy Joel talk. Fun fact, I used to play Piano Man all the time on Radio X. Yeah. Like if I was doing overnight shifts, or if I was doing an off shift where I wasn't doing something in particular, that was one of my go-tos that I just would like to sit and listen to, especially if we weren't getting calls or anything. I would throw that on.
I think I don't blame you. It's a great song. And I think that if I were to actually program a Delilah show for real, I could name probably 5 or 6 off the top of my head Billy Joel songs that 100% fit the genre, both in content and style and just that warm, fuzzy feeling. He's an excellent songwriter. And this is your homework, Jace. You have to listen to that song. Actually go find the video and watch it with the video, because that's really cool.
One of my favorite Billy Joel moments is when Homer Simpson played Uptown Girl as his song of protest. That's how we'll end our Billy Joel talk.
All right. So another artist that I think fits the Delilah mark, but one song specifically that I don't think that she doesn't go into like deep cuts or alternative tracks very much. She usually plays the hits, things that people have heard of.
Yeah, it's a request show, so of course, a lot of those are going to be the hits.
But Heart had an album, Live from the Road Home, 1995, and they did their version of Alone from that live album, and it is amazing.
I guarantee she plays the original version of Alone.
Oh yeah, I know she does. But that's how I would enhance. That's how I would slightly upgrade what's already working for Delilah. I would say, you know what, Delilah, mix it up a little. Play the Live from the Road Home. People are their ears will perk up a little bit more, and they'll say, oh, Delilah knows her shit. She's playing a little bit of a different one. And they will probably increase record sales for Heart. And then also Delilah will have a little more music cred. it's one of my favorite songs by heart, and that version is my favorite version. So I would definitely add that to the Delilah playlist.
I just like that. I love 80s Heart. I know in the world of Heart, they don't like their 80s stuff, but man, I love their 80s albums.
Again, I agree. I think they're great, and I don't fall into that music nerd category where I poo-poo people who like things that are popular. Like if they're popular for a reason. And I think Heart appeals to soccer moms, to rockers, to people who are like, it's accessible, but it's still like, it rocks and it's good.
I saw Heart at the Palace of Auburn Hills, which no longer exists anymore. I saw it was a lineup of Heart and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
Oh, nice.
And it was fantastic.
I bet it was.
Right after I turned 40, I think. Right around that time. Yeah.
So it was like last year.
It was like last year.
Okay, so my quick Heart story is when I was in junior high, I won a radio contest where I was the 10th caller, and I won a pillowcase that was embroidered, "All I Want to Do Is Make Love to You."
I was going to make an "All I Want to Do Is Make Love to You" joke, but you're doing it for me. Keep going.
And I gave it to my friend's mom, not because I was...
Mrs. Smith.
No.
Hi, Mrs. Smith. I figured I wanted to give this to you. I probably should have prefaced that better, but
this means something to me that I want you specifically to have it. No, I thought, well, I'm not going to take this home. I was excited that I won something, but then when I got it, I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this? So I just said, here, you can have it. I didn't really think of the message at the time. Now I'm curious.
We just put this on Matt's special pillow. It says, "All I want to do is make love to you" pillow.
Isn't that weird though, that that would be like one of the gimmick prizes for promoting that album was a pillowcase with that embroidered on it?
Man, I can't even. Some person was out there like, you know what we should really do?
Yeah.
I know t-shirts are big. People wear t-shirts all the time. Stickers are cool. But embroidered pillowcases, that's where it's at.
I'm pretty sure that when Bon Jovi put out their album in the early 90s, they were like, listen, let's do that embroidered pillowcase thing. And then David Bryan was like, no. Video of me playing keyboard. I'll teach people how to play keyboard. And then they were like, that's gold, my friend.
Well, that's it. The pillowcase didn't work for Heart so well. So let's
pillowcase
go with
didn't work.
Yeah. Let's go with the videotape of you teaching people to play rock piano.
Wish I still had that video.
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about Delilah, we should, probably pepper in some fun Delilah facts here and there, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, Delilah got started in radio and she was doing pretty good. And I'm quoting this. I got this actually off of a website because, everything on the web is true.
Yep.
It's NikkiSwift.com, the great journalist Nikki Swift, whoever you are.
Taylor Swift's sister?
Sure.
I'm assuming? Okay.
Yeah. This is the part in her article is called "Success Didn't Come Easy." And the little story goes, despite her auspicious beginning, Delilah had a difficult time establishing her radio career. I know that's hard to believe right now, considering she's literally on damn near every AC station across the United States. So even when she found some success, she did, as she did on Seattle's KLSY in the 80s, she couldn't avoid the pink slip. The consultant did a report where he said that Delilah is the tail wagging the dog. This is what she told people at BuzzFeed. If you're ever going to have success on this station, you need to get rid of her.
Whoa.
And Delilah said, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm number one. The rest of your day parts suck. So the way to make them successful is to have something crappy on at night.
Oh, I get the logic.
Yeah. So, she bounced around to a bunch of stations. She didn't actually get her syndication success until she landed in Rochester, New York in the mid 90s. And then blammo, took right off. But can you believe, knowing what we all know now, there's some consultant out there that was like, you know what you got to do? You got to get rid of that bitch on at night. She's just too damn good. She's making the rest of your station look terrible. Let's get rid of her. It'll make everybody else look better. Just get rid of her. She can go somewhere else. We don't need that schlocky stuff at night.
Fuzzy logic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Somewhere he's like, son of a bitch. I can't believe I got rid of that girl. No wonder I didn't make it in radio consulting much longer.
And then she went back to that town and bought that guy.
And then fired him over and over and over. I got another funny radio consultant story for you that I'll throw in here. This has nothing to do with Delilah, but has a bit to do with Michigan. So one of my old coworkers, when I worked at WSGW, he worked at many stations in the greater Detroit area. That's where he was from. He's also the one, fun fact, who taught me how to say Macomb County instead of Macomb County, which I always said when I was reading the news. He's like, no, Mason, it's Macomb. And I was like, are you sure? He's like, yes, I lived there. I was like, oh, sorry, man. But he was working at a station in the greater Detroit area, and they had a consultant come in and said, why on God's green earth do they play so much Bob Seger here at this station? And the jocks at the table just kind of looked at him and said, you realize where you're at, right?
Yeah.
And you realize where Bob Seger's from, correct? And he's like, yeah, and I still don't get it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And you never will.
And you never will.
Wow.
So that's a special consultant.
Okay, so Bob Seger. I bet there's some Bob Seger that could play on Delilah. What do you
Guarantee Night Moves is on there somewhere.
Shame on the Moon?
Oh, yeah. Down on Main Street.
A woman's heart. A man must keep his head.
Yeah, Down on Main Street, that big sax part, that fits on Delilah.
All right, so I've got two slightly metalish songs that I think would fit on Delilah. Tell me
Heaven by Warrant. Did I steal it?
You did not, but that's a good one.
That's a good.
First off, I think is the obvious one, Skid Row, I Remember You. I love that song. I think that song obviously hits you in the feels, and it's slow enough, it's mellow enough that it would fit. It wouldn't be jarring for people, but I think that there's an element to her listeners who probably bleed into at least that song from the more metal or more hard rock genre. I think that's a safe song from there that could fit, and that people would like still, pull out their lighters and wave them for that.
Oh yeah. Woke up to the sound of pouring rain.
Just keep singing it. I'm just gonna.
I don't remember that. The wind would whisper, and I think of you. But all this is a cry that calls my name. And then it gets way too high for me to sing.
It does, yeah. And I have a live version of it that's really pretty until the moment when he says, "Hey Tokyo, I love you" at the big epic climax of the song instead of "Oh my darling, I love you." It really annoys me. Like I want to edit it myself so he doesn't do that. But so that song definitely fits. And then the other one is kind of metal. It's from a band that didn't really get a lot of popularity. And I think we may have talked about the Choir Boys before. I don't know if we went into much detail.
I'm very familiar with the Choir Boys.
From 1990, I Don't Love You Anymore. Oh, man, that song is good. So good.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get really any radio play anywhere that I know of. And it's perfect for a sappy, sad story that Delilah has to fix somebody's life because they have lost a love. And so that's a common theme on her show. It is. It really is. And that song, I think, would be another one that's safe enough, but still got a little bit of edge so that people will be like, oh, hey, Delilah, what you doing? You got like a little something going on here. And I think that she needs that to keep things fresh.
Well, since we're, picking songs that try to, as you said, zhuzh up Delilah, which I think she'd like to use the term zhuzh.
I agree.
I think that would fit right into her stuff. I actually I'm going to quote from a transcript of one of her callers.
Oh, boy.
And I want you to pick the song since we're picking songs. I'm just going to throw this right in there.
All right.
That you would pick for these people.
Okay.
This is an easy one. I'm going to start you off easy. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, the caller calls in. Hi, my name is Karen. How are you, Delilah? I'm wonderful. What can I do for you? Notice I started off with a Karen, but it's not going to end up the way you think.
Okay.
Well, I'm sitting next to the love of my life, and I was hoping you could play a song for us. And so she goes through and asks, what's the name of the love of your life? Of course, it's Karen and Joe.
Of course it
is. They pulled it straight out of Central Casting.
Yep.
How long has Joe captured your heart there, Karen?
God.
51 years.
Damn. Karen.
I'm not even 50 yet. So they've been around longer than I've been around. Whoa, 51 years. Wow. So what was it about Joe that captured your heart 51 years ago?
I'm going to start crying.
Yeah, and you said yes. I want to see. I want this is the face I want to wake. All right, let me rewind there.
Don't screw it up, Jace. I'm feeling this here.
This is why Delilah is a superstar, and I'm on this stupid podcast with you, right? So, what was it about Joe that captured?
I like his ass.
Years ago? And you said yes. This is the face I want to wake up to. 51 years of my stupid life. We're going to wake up next to each other. It's not a stupid podcast, right, man. I love being on a podcast with you.
All right. What did she
said, you got to guess. Can you guess what she said? What made you want to wake up next to Joe for 51 years?
Let me see. He was
it's so stupidly simple.
He was the bus driver that picked me up from the bus stop on my way to work every day. And every day he gave me a single shiny red apple as I stepped onto the bus and didn't say a word to me. But then on the last day of my job, I was fired. And so I got on the bus and I was really sad. And he stopped the bus in the middle of the road, walked down the aisle to me, knelt down next to my seat, and said, "You forgot to pay your fare."
I was like, was she riding the bus to school? Because this is going to take a turn that I'm not sure you're ready for.
And they fell deeply in love. And then it turns out she kept all the apples and they just rotted in her bag.
I wish it was
not what happened.
You just said. That's
all right,
unfortunately not what happened.
It's his eyes. It's his smile.
Close. It was they kissed. Their first kiss.
That's what it was?
First date. Yeah, I know. 51 years ago, they kissed on a first date. What a tramp, right?
Yeah, seriously.
He got butterflies. She got butterflies. He was going away to school, didn't want a serious relationship, yada, yada, yada.
Man.
You know how it goes. They've been married 48 years. She says, pick whatever song you think to be perfect. And now, Matt, you're Delilah. You have wonderful blonde hair.
Okay, I'm
kind of hot for a 60-year-old. Now you got to pick this song.
All right, so I could go with the first kiss. There's so many songs about first kiss, or people that are old, people that are in love, marriage, people that ride buses. Oh wait, I made that part up. Okay, I'm gonna say. All right, I got it.
You could do "Kiss Me on the Bus" by the Replacements.
That's good, but I'm gonna take this seriously. I'm gonna take this seriously because if she's listening, she may need someone to help her pick music. I'm gonna say Mark Cohn's "True Companion." It's a beautiful ditty. It's from the same album that "Walking in Memphis" came in, but it never was released as a single, as far as I know. And it talks about a couple who falls in love, and he wants to be with this person until he's dead. And then he'll die, and then she'll die, and then they'll be together again in heaven. And it's very sappy and beautiful. And so I think that's the perfect song because it's saying as long as we're alive, and then even after that, we're going to be together. So Mark Cohn's "True Companion." Google that shit.
Wow. That's a super
Delilah.
good pick. Delilah. Super good pick.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in the transcript, I have no idea what song Delilah picked for that.
She probably picked
This Kiss.
This Kiss. There you go. This Kiss. You're right, Faithful.
Yep. She probably picked that. But yours is much, there's a lot more feeling behind it. Unfortunately, not super popular. Didn't keep the listeners. You're fired.
Damn it.
Yeah. The right answer was "Red Light Special" by TLC.
Because they got the swerve on for 50 years. Yeah, perfect.
I mean, come on. How, for 50 years, how do you not do that when you start out with "Take a good look, look at it now."
And look at it now.
And look at it now. 51 years later, and look at it now.
Maybe don't look at it. Maybe don't look at it anymore.
Maybe click the light switch. We got that pillowcase of all I want to do is make love to you.
I'm just going to drape this over.
Just going to put that over here.
Oh, man. Okay.
At least she didn't pick You're My Favorite Mistake.
There he goes. Yeah, see, there's appropriate songs and there's not appropriate songs.
Yours is much nicer. That was a good pick. I'm sure she would have loved that. Karen and Joe.
Do you have any more transcripts?
I do. So just give me a few minutes.
One?
I've got to go get the next one. So since you just did that, how about you throw in some filler, like find a filler song like we would do on the radio while I go get the next one and go.
So this is the thing that I definitely want to try to include in every single radio show or genre that we fix, and that is put REM into it. So,
all right, before you even go any farther, you did not look at my list. I actually picked an REM song too.
I have not seen your list, but I
just want to know if it's the same one. And I have it written down already, so I can show it to you on camera.
It's I could do an entire Delilah show with REM songs, but nobody would listen to that except for me and a girl that I went to junior high with. Just those two people in the world would listen.
I'd listen.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. But I picked one song that I think it isn't necessarily a love song, but it talks about, it's from 92, from the Automatic for the People album. It talks about don't rush to live. Like you'll look back and you'll be overwhelmed by all the memories and the fleeting imagery of youth. You'll wish that you had really soaked in your experience as you're going through life. And I think that there are a lot of times when people call in and they don't have like necessarily a love story. They talk about like loneliness, or they talk about, growing old and different life things that she helps people with too. So I think that REM's Find the River is deep, moving, emotional. It's beautiful. And it does hit people in the feels for a different reason. Because not all stories are about loss of love or long-term love. Sometimes they're just about people who need someone, or people who are feeling like life passed them by or something. And so that song I think would be particularly healing for someone in that situation. It's Find the River by REM.
That's a good song.
It's so pretty, and it's simple. It's not really like crazy or flashy, or like it doesn't do anything amazing, but it's just a beautiful, well-written song. And it's I will be the first to admit that REM's lyrics are not always crystal clear in the understandable category, and this one talks a lot about different smells and different things, like
well, it's like we were talking about the music. It points to a moment in time. There are certain songs that are completely attached to the moment in time. One of those for me is The Rooster by Alice in Chains. That would not be on Delilah.
No,
of course
it wouldn't.
But I don't know if it's necessarily a good memory or an appropriate memory, but I have a distinct memory. It's attached to a time driving down a certain road where I grew up, probably after I've been doing some things I shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah.
It was an old 1987 Mercury Lynx manual transmission, didn't even have power steering, and it's completely dark.
Yeah.
Just have the headlights on. This is back when I used to smoke, and I'm smoking and listening to The Rooster as I drive home, clearly after curfew, clearly going to be in trouble.
Yep.
Clearly doing things I wasn't supposed to be doing. And it's just attached to that moment in time.
Oh, yeah,
Every time I hear it, boom, pops right up.
I can totally, I can relate to a lot of different songs like that. And I think that one of the things that REM does really well is through, like, sometimes you hear the lyrics and they're just random words and they're kind of like stream of consciousness stuff. But what it does is it creates that imagery of sights and sounds and smells and things about your youth and things about, a time that's come and gone. And so it doesn't always have to have like a super obvious narrative thread to be meaningful. So that's one of those ones that if we did one of those episodes where we try to explain the nonsense that people are saying in a song, it wouldn't necessarily be clearly linear, but it's really, really good. So that would be my choice.
So before I move into the next caller transcript, did you know that Delilah has been married 4 times?
Ouch.
Well, it just proves she knows what she's talking about. She knows how to fall in love.
She really does. That's true. Yeah.
And she never quits trying. She does not quit.
Yeah. And
World
maybe
hates quitters, folks.
It's just the dudes that she's married that don't know what they're doing. That's the thing.
Probably. She's probably a gem and everybody loves her. She has like 18 kids. Most of them are adopted. So, I mean, how can you not like a person who does that? And she can take care of them all. I mean, she's a bajillionaire.
It's true.
So she's got all the kids. She, I just thought it was kind of interesting that the title says she's been divorced 3 times.
So probably her third husband.
Salacious, but she's been on her 4th husband.
Probably when she married her 3rd husband, they went home. He took a look at the house and all the kids running around, and he said, "Oh, I thought you said you had 18 kids."
Not 18.
Not 18. This is going to be a problem. So maybe it just wasn't, even though she is a radio personality, maybe the communication wasn't super clear in that.
Now she has 3 children, that she gave birth to, and then she's adopted 10 more. So I guess it's technically 13. Yeah. Wow. And unfortunately, a couple of her kids have passed away. And
I did know that. But yeah. Sad.
Yeah, so it's when she gives this advice and she talks and she does music, I mean, she's doing it from personal experience, which is probably what makes a lot of good presenters, whether it be radio, TV, or whatever. But when you're speaking from life experiences, it has a little more gravitas.
You've been through some shit.
Yeah,
that helps.
She also resides on a massive farm, 1,200-acre farm. Not only does she has a bajillion kids, she has 21 goats, 500 chickens, 2 emus, 2 pigs, 9 horses, 5 sheep, and a zebra named Xena, 3 African geese, 7 dogs, only 2 of which are hers. So that means 5 randos just showed up and
stole 5 dogs.
Goats. Yeah, 2 are mine. I jacked the other 5.
I have a dog theft problem, but other than that, I'm a really good person.
It's my only real vice is stealing dogs.
Let her have that. Don't take that away from her.
Let her. But they get to live on a beautiful farm. So, I mean, if you're going to steal somebody's dogs, at least she's not putting them in dog fighting.
Yeah.
Or maybe
I think it's obvious they live a better life now, no matter where they came from, unless she stole them from Oprah.
No, would you rather be a dog for Oprah or Delilah? I'm picking Delilah.
I think Oprah owns all the money that Delilah doesn't have, so I would say Oprah.
No, but as a dog, though, Oprah, Chicago, Delilah, on a farm in, Oregon somewhere, or Washington, whatever I just said. As a dog, I'm picking Delilah. You get to play on a farm.
You know what? Maybe Delilah's farm is where animals go when they die. When
maybe.
Say, oh, Sparky had to go. He's living on a farm now.
When our parents said, "Hey, we had to take Sparky to the farm," it was Delilah's farm.
It was Delilah's farm. Yeah.
Hence the reason 2 dogs are hers, 5 are just these other ones that get dropped off.
Wait a minute. That means they're ghost dogs.
No, these ones are alive. They haven't passed yet.
But they will. Oh, they will.
Oh, they will. So, all right, here's another one for you. Here's another caller transcript. Now, these transcripts, they were, I'm following along the best I can. So don't shoot the messenger.
I won't make you do the voices.
Okay. Hello, you've called Delilah. Who is this? Yes, my name is Patricia. Patricia, hi, welcome. What can I do for you tonight? Well, my husband is currently in physical therapy, trying to get back on his feet. He's strong enough, and I just want to give him a pick-me-up and to let him know how much I'm cheering him on and how much I love him. And he's done so much for me over the years. He's 12 years my senior.
Oh.
Yeah, arguably might have been a senior when she met him. We met, you're going to find out where they met. We met when we worked at this one job. I was still currently with somebody. I've had really physical and emotionally abusive relationships, and I never gave myself time to find myself before jumping into the next one. I've listened to you for a long time now. You've helped me get through night by night, even before I met my husband. So I just want to say thank you. And to you and my husband. He showed me that I have a voice. and I can use it, and I'm worth more. And so he's given me the ability to be me again. And so I'm just hoping that you're able to pick a good song and just to tell him how much I do love him and thank him and bless God for dropping him in my way at work. If you
okay, let's go with I don't know. That one's all right. So, all right, we're looking at someone who's
no. I think you need to. You got to give, because they met at work, right? So, what job did they meet at? I think that could really frame the song.
Oh,
it doesn't say, so we can just make this part up.
Let's say David Lee Roth, Ice Cream Man.
It's funny you went, because I was like, so she's a stripper, and God dropped him right in front of her, dollar bills hanging out of his mouth and all, and Ice Cream Man by David Lee Roth comes on.
Okay, let me think here.
I'm sure that's not what it was. Not on Delilah.
So he supported her through her struggles.
Gave her a voice, Matt. Gave her a voice. Made her realize she was more than what she was.
What's that opera guy? He sings You raise me up, you raise me up when blah 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 blah.
Michael Bublé?
No, no, it's the other guy. You're on the right track though. Okay, You Raise Me Up by Josh Groban. Josh Groban. Am I right?
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, by Josh Groban.
There you go. Perfect.
He's an interesting looking fellow anyways.
Yeah, he's got a killer voice, but it's very, like, it's interesting to see a classically trained opera singer sing like pop music, because the opera is still hovering in there. Like, you can definitely hear it. Yeah, that would be one that she would have like on. She has a hotkey for Josh Groban for sure. It's not, she doesn't have to go find the CD or look in the list of MP3s. She's got, he's on
1-1.
Yeah, exactly.
A bank 1.
That's a good one. Hey, you know what? I got a letter from a listener.
I got a letter just the other day.
I'll read to you. And this is from a anonymous stranger. I will read it to you, and then you can tell me what song you think Delilah would pick for this. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So it starts out, Dear Casey, and then that's scratched out. And then it says Ryan, and then that's scratched out. And then it says Garrison, and that's scratched out. And then it says Delilah. So Dear Delilah, eventually we get there.
Oh, I see what they were doing here.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's been a tough couple of months. My best friend, my confidant, the apple of my eye.
Not a confidant.
Is gone. Even though it wasn't a surprise, the hurt just won't go away. The love of my life started very innocuously. We met at a pet store. It's sweet. But things got serious quickly, and soon we would have long talks over dinner, listen to music together, even enjoy the park sometimes. The rain never seemed to bother my boo. Your show was always a weekly destination for us. Somehow, Lovebug just seemed to understand me and accepted me as I am. Even my quirks that I don't tell most people, Schmoopy would just roll with it, and his soft eyes would encourage me to be who I am. I would sew us goofy costumes, and even though I had to help him into them, it was always fun. Then one day, I saw the light in his eyes had dimmed. His movement was slower, more languid. I thought maybe he was just a little depressed. I tried everything to make things like they were, but it was obvious that he was on borrowed time. Finally, I came home one day and my worst fear had come true. No more excited buzz as I walked in the door. My love's light had gone out. The memorial was a simple service. No one else understood the depths of our love, and so it was just the two of us as I sent him on his final journey. It was a trying time for me. I relapsed into some very self-destructive activities. This is typical Delilah's letter.
Yeah, this is good.
Unfortunately, some of the park mimes I started to hang out with. Sorry, this is serious. Fortunately, some of the park mimes I started to hang out with got me pointed in a healthy direction. Oh, sorry. I'm on the road to recovery now, but every day is a challenge to not go hide in that dark place I had been. So will you please... play Closer by 9 Inch Nails?
I thought I was supposed to pick this song.
In memory of Blackie, my beta fish, who is no longer with us. All right. Well, you know what? We can't play Closer by 9 Inch Nails because that doesn't fit. So what song would you pick for poor little Blackie the beta fish?
I think it's funny that you went for Closer because I was thinking My Boo by Ghost Town DJs.
Oh.
Because at night I think of you. I want to be your lady, maybe. Because I thought it was going to be a dog named Lady.
Now it's Blackie the beta fish. Now I feel I'm glad that this person had the park mimes to help them out.
Let's see, beta fish.
Because they are psychologically trained, I believe.
There's something.
All right, so we're looking at a song.
I thought you were saying park. It's saying park moms wrong.
No, mimes. It's the mimes that mime in the park. So we're looking at someone who really had a special something with his beta fish, with her beta fish. And wait, I think it's it's a female. So she loves the beta fish. They did a lot of things together. Apparently, they wore outfits together. They had costumes. They had a really special time.
Diver. She was a fish.
Long
I was
walks.
A fisherman. She was a fish.
They went to the park.
I was a
dinner.
Swimmer. She was a fish.
So, I think this was a really serious. This relationship is. I don't know how long beta fish lived, but this relationship could have been days and days in the making.
Days and days.
So, what kind of special song do you think applies to this?
I don't know. What is a good I Love My Fish song? Close to You by Maxi Priest.
Oh,
I just want to be close to you and do all the things you want me to. I just want to
sprinkle those little flakes into my water.
Yeah.
I love the way you rub your thumb and your front finger together.
That probably doesn't work though for a fish, does it?
With the flakes.
No. I've got one.
Some people just drop the flakes in whole, but you always ground them up for me.
Yeah, you just your index finger and your thumb together, just
at
the right pressure.
Me. Yeah,
that's how I know. That's good thing this isn't a visual medium. No, but I have a better song than "Close to You" by Maxi.
All right, what is it?
It Must Have Been Love, but it's over.
Oh, but it's over. Roxette.
Yes, Roxette.
Oh,
what movie
Roxette.
was it from? Pretty Woman. I'll say.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have never.
Pretty sure. I'm very confident in not being confident on that one.
That fits. That's perfect. And Roxette definitely is.
Oh, that's totally in Delilah's wheelhouse.
Yeah. It's interesting how she doesn't really have to modernize. Have you noticed that?
No.
Like she'll add things, certainly, but she never has to really take anything out. Like, because she's been doing this show, since the 80s or
90s.
Early 90s?
Mid-90s.
So she's got stuff from the 80s to current, but she doesn't really have to follow any genre specifically. Like she does. I mean, it fits into an AC format or it fits into whatever.
There will never be a lack of relationship turmoil for her to deal with.
Yeah.
There's going to be plenty of it in her life, and it will be just fine. She will.
And no one would hear this sad fish story and then hear Roxette and think, well, that's an old song. Why did she think of that? They would think, Delilah, Chef's Kiss, you've done it again.
You've done it again.
That's amazing. Well, thanks for the letter. That was beautiful.
You golden domed radio wizard. You have done it again. Damn it.
You're perfectly coiffed.
She's got beautiful blonde hair for a 60-year-old woman. I know. Really I'm sure there's some bottle going on there, but dang, she's done good.
So I have another song that would modernize Delilah. Speaking of like not having to follow genres. So there are like 10 Phil Collins songs that would fit in a Delilah program.
You could
One
just
of which
play
would
the
be-
album No Jacket Required and just walk away for an hour and be just fine.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. If she was a cigarette smoker, that's when she would go take a smoke break.
Yep.
But I'm going to say Against All Odds would definitely fit into the category, but I'm going to give it a little twist and go with the Postal Service's version of Against All Odds because it's still pretty, but it updates it. It makes it a little more modern without being scary. The original is a staple, and I love the original, and nothing against. I don't think she should take out the Phil Collins version because that's probably one of my favorite. If I had to list like top 20 ballads of all time, Against All Odds would be somewhere in the top, probably the top 10 actually. But it doesn't hurt to sneak in an indie artist here and there if you have the opportunity, and that's a song that's accessible to people, and so it might make people say, "Oh wow, I love that song," and this new band I've never heard of. I mean, they're not new, but new to me.
To Delilah listeners, probably.
To Delilah listeners, it's new, and they might say, "I'm going to check this out," and then there we go with a deep dive into something new. So I'm going to go with Against All Odds by the Postal Service.
I actually had a cover on my list too. And it
What
was
do you
the
got?
it was the REM one. It doesn't really fit into anything here, but I wanted to bring it up because we like to bring up cover songs.
Yeah.
And since you brought up the Postal Service covering a Phil Collins song,
Good.
I if we needed a backhanded song in there, if we needed a backhanded song about love,
Sure. Yeah.
it was, the song "The One I Love" by REM, which is not a good song about being in love with somebody.
No, it's not. It's not.
But there's a great cover of it. It's pretty true to form. It doesn't really venture too much from the formula of "The One I Love," but Collective Soul does a very
Really?
It's just a touch more amped up version of it. When I say amped up, it's not like faster. It's just a little more rock
Yeah.
to it, and it's very good.
It's
I
weird to me
recommend it.
that I have not heard that.
I think it's new. I think it was just released not too long ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Collective Soul is still making music?
Yes, they're still making music.
Huh. I'll be damned.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I
cool.
always
I'm gonna
liked
have to
them.
check that out.
They never got the just desserts, I think. They had a bunch of hits in the mid 90s, but they didn't really carry on, but I think they were much better than the hits that they had.
Do you think that they deserve to be represented in our next installment of These Bands Should Have Been Huger? Or do you think they were appropriately huge enough?
I think they were appropriately huge, and I'm not sure the term huger is what I would use.
That's what we do.
I know. I mean, but in the context, I think their longevity should their popularity should have lasted longer.
Yeah,
they're
what do
still
you think
touring.
happened?
They're still touring, like we talked about. Like Dramarama is still touring.
Yeah.
But like Collective Soul, I think they were kind of like the band Candlebox, who was not a grunge band, but they got jammed into the grunge band thing. Collective Soul, also not really a grunge band, not a punk band, not really even an alternative band. They were a good rock band.
Well, that's a good point. So it wasn't necessarily that something happened. They didn't self-destruct.
No, they didn't. They're still around. They still record. Their music is still good. I have not seen that. Actually, they're on my list if they ever come around mid-Michigan, which they tend to do. Mm-hmm. I have them on my list if I want to go see them because I like a lot of their songs, actually.
Yeah. So. Dolly Parton does a cover of a Collective Soul song.
What one? December?
She does. Is it called Shine? It's called Shine.
Yeah, it's called Shine.
Yeah. There we go. All right, we got to it. Do you have any other songs?
Oh, I have a bunch of other songs, but they're not really going to fit into anything. So let's just name the songs. So we were talking about Delilah, and these are songs that I thought would fit into Delilah's format. And maybe they're probably already in there because I don't listen to Delilah. I listened to her a bunch and prepping up for this because I wanted to get the vibe, the feel of what Delilah does. And it's a very, her vibe is very Take It on the Run by REO Speedwagon to, a schlocky Eric Clapton song to... I hate Eric Clapton. I never realized how much I just do not like Eric Clapton.
This podcast is making you realize how much you hate Eric Clapton.
Yeah. And he's got famous. I don't even understand why people liked him so much. I'm sure there's somebody out there who can.
I guess he's kind of good at guitar.
He is, but maybe I guess you just had to be there. Maybe that's what it is. I thought this song would fit into the Delilah format. I have not heard it on her song on there, and I feel like it would fit into a request somewhere. And I'll let you figure out what the request might be. But Here Comes Your Man by the Pixies.
Oh,
it's mid-tempo.
Wow. I love that song.
It doesn't. It gives you the illusion that it's kind of fits into that genre, but it's the Pixies.
See,
like
I
if
think
you don't
if she
listen
wanted
close
to,
enough.
yeah, I think if she wanted to pick people up after a real downer, that would be a good one.
Yeah,
because right after that, like, and you're like, hey,
yeah,
hey, I feel better now. Yeah, I could see that. It is much more uplifting than, like, not uplifting in the emotional sense, but in the actual like tempo. It's more of a bop than she would typically play, but it's still, I love that song. If she played any Pixie song, I would be like, what's going on?
Yeah,
this is fantastic.
You're already kind of legit before Delilah. Now you're actually legit. Do you think she plays the song? She's had to have played the song "Hey There, Delilah."
Oh yeah,
the Plain White T's.
I hope so. Missed opportunity if not. So
her
my
name's
question
literally
is,
in the song.
My question is, when she goes home, does she listen to like just death metal?
Yeah, her favorite song I heard is "Hammer Smashed Face" by Cannibal Corpse. Because after a day of listening to Train songs over and over again, it's really what you want to do.
If I see another drop of Jupiter,
yeah,
you don't want to know what happens.
So some other songs that I had picked that would fit somewhere and even are newer, like this one is within the past couple of years, was "One Right Now" by Post Malone, featuring The Weeknd.
Oh. I don't know.
He's a diamond certified artist. He's sold that many records already.
It's amazing.
He does every genre too. He's
It's incredible.
Got a country song.
I'm more of a fan of the stuff he does just as a goof than the stuff that he does on albums. Like I've seen him do
when he did the Nirvana concert in his house.
That was amazing.
That was one of the best things over the whole pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
So yeah, he's and I like Post Malone. He seems like somebody you could be friends with. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He seems like a good time.
Yeah.
Stumbling In by Chris Norman and Susie Quattro.
Ah, yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah. And Chris, everybody knows who Susie Quattro is, right?
Right.
You know what she's famous for, right?
And that song doesn't feel Susie Quattro-ish at
No,
all.
Not at all. She
but it's
lightened
a great
up to
song,
do that one.
For sure. I mean, that's like a Juice Newton kind of song, but Susie Quattro did it.
That's what I was thinking. You know she's from Detroit, correct? You know that?
No.
She's from the D. She's arguably even more famous for what I'm going to tell you than actually for her music. She is probably most famous for being Leather Tuscadero on Happy Days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like Delilah would bring that up.
She would, for sure. Yeah.
And then she would talk about Happy Days and how that is a great Norman Rockwell look into what everybody thought the United States was like then, but really wasn't.
And then she would say something like, speaking of Happy Days, here's Kenny Loggins with House at Pooh Corner.
Well, actually, I think she would be like, that gives you, she was on Happy Days, and Happy Days was, like I said, the Norman Rockwell look of what, life was like in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and that time period. And then another thing that was like Happy Days in Kenosha, Wisconsin was Buddy Holly by Weezer.
Yes, that's what she would do.
That's exactly what would happen on Delilah's show, right? Other songs, Tell It to My Heart by Taylor Dane. That's got to be in there somewhere.
One. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Careless Whisper by Wham.
Love it.
Yeah. I listened to that whole George Michael's first solo album.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot how good it was. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's really good. Did I ever tell you the story about his other one, his Listen Without Prejudice album?
I listened to that album afterwards because I was telling you and Jeff, I'm like, oh my gosh, this George Michael album is so good. You guys listen to Listen Without Prejudice. I'm like, this is the most bro thing we could do over text right now is talk about George Michael albums.
Three bros shooting the shit about George Michael solo albums.
Broing out about George Michael's solo albums. He was kind of a badass, man. He used to cruise all the time, and he told the cops basically to fuck off. He was going to do what he was going to do and have his good times, and I kind of respect that.
So when I was in, I want to say junior high, I guess I would have to look to see when that album came out. When Listen Without Prejudice came out, I wanted it so badly because the first single I thought was amazing. And
Tell us how bad you wanted the latest George Michael album.
So bad, I had to have it. And so I want to say this was still on cassette.
Probably.
I think it might have still been for me anyway on cassette. But anyway,
I can tell you the last cassette I ever bought was. I'll tell you that after this. Finish your story.
So I was at the store with my dad, and I needed to buy. This was junior high because I needed to buy an Isaac Asimov book to get extra credit in my science class. We got extra credit for reading Isaac Asimov books because our science teacher was a huge Isaac Asimov nerd. So I said to my dad,
George Michael album, Isaac Asimov.
I said to my dad, yeah, I got it.
You had chicks everywhere.
I know. I was totally, I was the Rizzler. So anyway, so I said to my dad, I need this Isaac Asimov book. And he was like, oh yeah, well, if you need it for school, I'll get it for you. And then later on I saw the George Michael CD, tape or whatever it was. And I was like, oh Dad, I need this. I want to get this so bad. And he was like, all right, which one is more important to you? The school one or the fun one? And I was like, oh,
you better have picked George Michael.
Sophie's choice. I picked the Isaac Asimov. And my dad said, you made the right choice. You can get them both. Wow. Because I chose I know it was a moral.
You were the Rizzler. Look at you.
Exactly. So I went home with both of them, and they were both really good.
Tell me Matt has junior high kids without telling me he has junior high kids. He correctly used the term Rizzler in a sentence as a 40-year-old adult.
Thank you.
Did you ever ask your wife? Did you ever tell your wife she's caked up?
No, I did not because I enjoy.
I have your wife's phone number. I may just text her and be like, "There's something Matt's been wanting to tell you. You should go talk to him."
He's afraid to say it, but
he's afraid to say it. But just say, Jace said there's something you wanted to mention to me. Well, I'll keep your weekend going good for you here. So other songs I had "Barely Breathing" by Duncan Sheik. I love that song.
Yeah, that was all over everywhere for a while.
I had 2 songs by TLC. I already told you Red Light Special. That was for the people who've been married for half a century.
Yeah.
But the other one was Baby, Baby, Baby off their first album.
I got so much love for you. Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't know why I picked this one. I think I was just trying to get something cool and edgy, at least edgy for Delilah into her show.
Sure. Yeah.
Rock and Roll Lifestyle by Cake. I have no idea. That fits nowhere, but I picked it.
That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, if you need if you need a smart ass song for someone who collects expensive smashed guitars, only they would know how much they paid for that.
That's true.
How do you afford your rock and roll lifestyle?
I mean, that is a fact about that song, but I don't know how it would fit in Delilah. There are some good songs that she would probably like by the Bloodhound Gang, but I don't know if that would necessarily fit either.
My favorite Bloodhound Gang song I probably can't talk about, or shouldn't talk about at least.
You already have.
I think I mentioned Tell It to My Heart by Taylor Dane.
Yep.
Dude, I looked up Taylor Dane. She is still a smoke show.
Really?
Holy cow. Oh, yeah.
Has she added any additional chains to her face?
She didn't have chains on her face.
Oh, yeah,
You're thinking of
Jane Child. That's what I'm thinking of. Jane Child.
I was like, wrong person. She's a Canadian.
Yeah.
I already mentioned that one, and no, that was it. I think that's it.
All right, I have a couple more that I'll rattle through really quickly. So we went over Jessica Simpson.
Oh, sorry, we're already done. Time's up. Thanks for being with us, everybody.
We've got Journey covered, Don Henley, Billy Joel. Oh, Hootie and the Blowfish with
Let Her
Goodbye
Cry.
from their Goodbye. It's a deep cut. They don't play that on the radio. It's
Canceled.
so sad.
Canceled.
It's beautiful.
The right answer is Let Her Cry.
And because that album is in like the top 10 highest grossing albums of all time, I want it to keep staying up there and perhaps beat the Eagles one day. So any chance to play Hootie on the radio that will sell more Hootie albums, I am all for. So Goodbye from the Cracked Review album. Also, one of my favorite bands, Black Crowes, Darling of the Underground Press. My favorite song by them it was a B-side on the Southern Harmony and Musical Companion.
But she's going for She Talks to Angels.
She is, but that song is the reason I like Darling of the Underground Press is it has a motivational message. It's a deep cut. It's got a motivational message about getting your shit together, basically. Like one of the lines is, I've heard that it's good to think before you speak, and I've heard that it's good to bathe yourself once a week. I've heard that it's good to look before you cross, and no one, this is the important part, and no one is ever going to find you if you don't get yourself lost. It's a really cool line, and it's a cool song about kind of like, you know, finding yourself and getting to a place where you know who you are, and so it's a deep cut that she should be playing so that, again, she gets a little bit of indie cred. She's not always just playing the easy, the simple, the basic songs that everyone knows. She's giving people a little bit of music education and still sending those positive messages. So Darling of the Underground Press from Black Crowes. Also Mazzy Star, Fade Into You.
Oh, that's a good song.
So good. From
I'm going to go listen to that after that. I like that song a lot.
1993. I could tell you a story about that, but it's not really appropriate. But,
I could tell you some stories about that too, which are completely not appropriate.
I did find an internet quote that I loved when I was looking up this song, and the random person on the internet said, doing a review on this album, "This is what falling in love with the wrong person sounds like." And it's, I think it fits.
No truer words have been written.
Yeah, and it's such a pretty song. Like Mazzy Star I think they should have been huger, but I think they just weren't. I think they didn't diversify enough. They were all kind of singing the same thing over and over again, and it was mostly sad. So, I mean, that appeals to a smaller niche audience, but it's a great song. And then Annie Lennox, Why, from the Diva album. Right in the wheelhouse. I'm sure she's played it, but I'm sure Delilah has played it. It's really, it's a song about a couple that is breaking up, and it's sad, but it's really pretty. And Annie Lennox always does a bang up job with whatever she does. So that's a good one. And then the last one I had was Drive by the Cars. We mentioned the Cars earlier. Drive is a beautiful song. And that one,
I used to play that at the radio station too when I was doing overnights. Oh man, I played Drive a lot.
Yeah.
When I get into my sappy songs.
Yeah. Most of the time it was me driving you home.
That was right up there with Joey by Concrete Blonde.
Oh, that is a good one.
Yeah. That's a good one. Like Mazzy still. Oh yeah, those all work together.
Damn. Delilah, are you listening? Just
I hope
sprinkle
she's listening.
these in. Just a little dusting of something different is
so. To wrap up our conversation about Delilah, I think it's safe to say we don't necessarily hate Delilah. I actually not even close to hate Delilah. No. I think, although we had a little fun with her, we pretty much respect what she's done for a syndicated radio host.
Yep.
Most of them, I think, I don't really enjoy anymore. But Delilah's fits, and maybe it's my age. Maybe it's because I fit in the demographic now. I fit in that age demographic. But I like what she's done. I like what she does. And I think what really sealed it for me, because before I found this out, I probably wouldn't have said the same thing, is that she went back and she bought the first radio station she worked at.
Yeah, that's nice.
And kept it a local station. Because I'm paraphrasing here, because she wanted a place that people could get their start like she did.
Yeah.
And
that's amazing.
I think in the world of radio, that's important. You need a local station with a local personality with local people.
And nobody puts their money into that anymore.
No.
Like they're always worried about losing their money in situations like that. And she was like, I'm going to specifically
do this,
pour money into this to keep it going for that very reason. That's awesome. I have respect for her. And another thing I have respect for is that she did what most, I mean, there is an oeuvre. There's a genre that, like the John Teshes and the things like that are also very wholesome. They don't do it as well, I don't think, but
no, not even close.
She was syndicated without being crass, without being like,
she wasn't a shock jock about it.
Yeah. She didn't have to create big, like, conspiracy moments or like create a big scene. She did it by being wholesome and making people feel safe and playing music that made you feel welcome and made you feel better. And I think that, to people who are afraid of, like, not to get too weird, but people who are afraid of like going to therapy or something, that was like a lot of people's therapy. And I think that she took that responsibility of whatever I can do. I'm just a DJ that plays music, but if I can make you feel better about your situation, I got a song for it. Like that's kind of like a dream.
Yeah, well, and it's the idea that you and I have always had. If you call in, you want to talk to the DJ, and you want them to play you a song.
Yeah,
that's the engagement. That's the localness. You're a part of the thing, and that is clearly what radio is missing.
So we love you,
100-fold right now. They're missing all of that. Because I could drive over. I know where all the local radio stations are around where I live. I could drive there, and I guarantee there's only one that has a person at it. It's a 24-hour news station, which I used to work at, WSGW. I guarantee they're the only one that has a person at it. Every other station, nobody there.
And they were gone by like 6 o'clock.
Yeah. So what's the point? I can do that on my phone. I can do that with Spotify. The whole point of the radio station is I call and I talk to somebody, and there's engagement with me right then.
Yeah. So good on you, Delilah. Keep doing what you're doing until you're 158 years old.
And I want to
take over your show.
Yes, I want to end this talk about Delilah with the one song she never wants to play again. She knows she's going to have to, but if she doesn't want to. And as she says, although I've seen the rose 25 times, if I never have to play the song Wind Beneath My Wings again, it'll be too soon. And another one, she's yeah. And that's a quote from her. So I'd like to end our Delilah talk with that.
I have even more respect for her now. All right.
So there you are, folks. That's us. That's X Radio X, Matt and Jace, fixing Delilah's show for her, or at least giving her some helpful hints. Maybe not fixing it.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Yeah, you go check us out on the socials. I'm on Threads now. If you see us X Radio X podcast on Threads, it's me. That's not Matt. It's Jace doing all the wittiness out there. I'm taking credit for that one. Matt does all of our stuff on FKA Twitter. I said FKA Twitter because I heard that on another podcast, and they just refused to call it X because it's the dumbest name ever.
It'll always be Twitter to me.
Yeah, we're on Instagram. We have a Facebook account. I haven't been on it in a year, so if you go there, reach out. Tell me how it's going.
And there's a new thing. If you listen to our podcast, by all means, please give us a rating. But there's also a thing that you can send us a message directly from, like if you are on Spotify or any of your things, right in the description of the show, you can send us a message. So this is a new feature. We would love to see if it even works. By all means, leave us a message. That would be fun. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, we would. All right. I'm Jace.
I'm Matt.
And this has been X Radio X.
Delilah.
For your calls tonight, Castleton and Greenwood. We're playing soft rock for a busy world. I'm Delilah on B105.7. Delilah.